Yes, brothers and sisters, I hope everybody's well. Not long got out of bed, I've been awake an hour or so. Done my morning routine, and after that I watched the podcast with Anthony Holmes on Fully Game. And I thought I'd just set a couple of things straight. I am on the Fully Game podcast tomorrow, so I'm going to leave the juicy bits for then. I think it's only right and fair. But I feel Anthony Holmes only respected me in pockets of that interview because he had to, not because he wanted to. And that's his business. We all handle these things differently. But I did hear him say that if we have 3 fights, he wins 2 of them. Well, how does he beat me? Is he going to stop me on cuts, or is he going to move about and tip-tap his way to a points victory? Because I was never dazed, I was never buzzed, and I was never wobbled. He did flash me, which is what happens when you get punched in the eye. With a good punch, I might add. But it was never the type of power that was going to put me down, and he'll never knock me out. My punch tolerance is like nothing Anthony Holmes has ever seen before. He might be able to knock this one over and knock that one over, but he's never been in there with me, has he? And he'll never put me down. Now I've felt his power, and now I've been in there with him. He will never put me down. Now, he does have a better skill set. He has better movement. He has better feet. And he's fast with his head coming off the line. But every time me and Anthony Holmes fight, I knock him out. And I'm quite certain of that now after being in there with him. I punch harder than anybody he's ever been in there with. And he goes on about how fatigued he was. Well, if anybody really believes that an undefeated triple champion came into the biggest fight of his life and wasn't fully fit and fight ready, then that's their business. They can believe what they want. I'll tell you right now why Anthony Holmes was so fatigued: because of me and the relentless pressure that I put on him. And it didn't matter that my eyebrow was hanging off, just the pressure got to him. I fatigued him. He didn't fatigue himself. I put that much pressure on him, he ran out of gas. And in a 5-round bare knuckle fight, I knock him out every single time. There's no doubt in my mind. And, chances are I've maybe even took his chin. We're 38-year-old, me and Anthony, and when you get flattened like that at our age, whatever punch resistance might have been there, could well have been taken away. It might be a lot lesser of a punch that puts him away next time. And my pressure, my power, my heart, and my will to win knocks Anthony out every single time. I almost feel like fighting him next, just to show him, and just to finish him off completely. But chances are then it would probably never come back. And that's not really what I want from him right now. There's no spite, there's no malice. But I knock Anthony Holmes out every time we have a fight. And it's something he might not like to hear, but I just want to set the record straight. He doesn't beat me. Anthony Holmes never beats me. He does a lot of things better than me, that's true, but he definitely doesn't hit as hard as me, and he definitely doesn't have the punch tolerance that I have. So anytime we fight, if he comes, he goes early. If he runs, he goes late, and that is going to be the story of the rematch with me and Anthony Holmes. This is on my terms now, and I'll decide what happens next. You know, I'm not making any concrete decisions right now because I'm having time off. But I did just want to put that straight. I look forward to the podcast tomorrow with the two lads from down there, because they're two really good boys and they've got a good setup and a good podcast, and I'm looking forward to seeing what questions they might ask, because I'll answer them all honestly. But there it is for today, my bit of content. Bye bye for now, people.